Hey, 94 baby, voice of the South, Solo Mob Entertainment CEO, Dallas, Texas, stand the fuck up. Young nigga going grind for you crown. Oh, I'm gon' grind for my family, yeah. Oh, I'm gon' ride for my family, yeah.
Real nigga know you grind for your family, hold it down. Got kids ain't asked to be a just for them, you going grind. Even if I ain't had no kids every day, I still going grind. Just a project nigga from the slum tryna buy my mama a brand new house. Real nigga grind for your family, hold it down. Got kids ain't asked to be a just for them, you going grind. Even if I ain't had no kids every day, I still going grind. Project nigga from the slum tryna buy my mama a brand new house. Don't mind going through the pain, I prevail every time. Turn my losses into lessons, turn my darkness into shine. Told my mama every time when she cried, I'm still alive. I'm breathing, I'm achieving, I'ma get us at the side. My cousin hit me from the pen, he said, look, you hold it down. Bitch, I'm stressing about my granny, I'm taking niggas off the line. I told him, bitch, slow it down, we need you home right now. You got a daughter and a son, them kids need you right now. I praying daily for my daughters, all my nephews and my nieces. Paying attention every day in these streets, these niggas sneaking. Rest in peace to all them kids, parents they'll never see. Just survivors of the jungle if you really ask. Real nigga know you grind for your family, hold it down. Kids ain't asked to be a just for them, you going grind. Even if I ain't had no kids every day, I still going grind. Just a project nigga from the slum tryna buy my mama a brand new house. Real nigga grind for your family, hold it down.
Oh, I'm gon' grind for my family, yeah. Oh, I'm gon' ride for my family, yeah. Oh, I'm gon' grind for my family. In the slums of the jungle, this how we run round. Boy, you must be done found, thinking I'm gon' put this gun down. I play with Osama 3 line, he just got this chopper go for rum, you better run for a scuff now. In the streets getting money, won't let them take nothing on game. I'ma keep thumbing blue hundreds and I won't let it change me no way. Hit a lick with the guys in the gang, I'ma split the bitch 4 ways. I give a fuck about what the hoe say. Me no side bet, Jose. Leave for a keto, big dozen, he gon' torpedo. Around my neck out the kilo. Try to take it, yeah, get lost just like Nemo. I'm in the streets, ho. Yeah, that's 3 ho. They ain't bad at yeah, bitch, we know. Stay silent, that's the G code. Yeah. I'ma run it up.
Real nigga know you grind for your family, hold it down. Got kids ain't asked to be a just for them, you going grind. Even if I ain't had no kids every day, I still going grind. Just a project nigga from the slum tryna buy my mama a brand new house. Real nigga grind for your family, hold it down. Got kids ain't asked to be a just for them, you going grind. Even if I ain't had no kids every day, I still going grind. Just a project nigga from the slum tryna buy my mama a brand new house. Real nigga grind for your family.
You ever wonder what it's like to live in the jungle? Lion, tigers, and bears, snakes, and scorpions. Can you take this shit serious? Serious as it is. When it's fuck, how you feel? Better get it how you live. When killers retaliate every enemy possible. Surviving lives on a hard pill to swallow. God bless the child that can hold his own. That means taking care of your family till your kids are grown. If loyalty is royalty, some of us broke as fuck. Blood thicker than water, but still, who can you trust? They say that you to blame, ran your name in the mud. You a soldier, you was trained, you was ready for war. The president smoking, fucking bitches in the White House. Stomping in the Air Force Ones into the lights out. King of high yourself, they say you dangerous and woke. They know we greedy for these beats, so they say we creep slow.
Whoa, it's is the new sleep, shallow is the new deep. Cheeks every news week, silence is the new speech. Cool like a fan, but on the other hand, I'm a nympho, so I like to fuck what they saying. Fuck an ab and a pan, they both kicking the can. Two homeless motherfuckers that ain't took back they land. Ain't no need to take a seat, want you to overly stand. Listen up and pour a cup, while I rock like a band. Fuck a chief in a trap, I like feeling the vibe. Man, tucking on that pride and see it's just a divide. But you fuck with white girls and you push genocide. And Jennifer, the only one you call for a ride. I was fucking with that shit, but now my feelings have died. And all my women spoil like my package expired. My discernment like a tooth with the feeling inside. Cause I'm here to tell the truth, fuck what you feeling inside, nigga.
This that prolific, spiritual individual. Grab your bitches, they follow him everywhere he go. My aura code, the shit I'm kicking like Sub-Zero. Most niggas playing it simple, we keep shit popping like teenage pimples. Y'all niggas lack credentials, overlapping most uniques with meditation, elevation, fundamentals. It's official, like a ref with a whistle. I won't pick up my dribble, she look me in the eyes, open up the eyes and say, play monkey in the middle. The woman's my favorite riddle, high charisma in my temple. She get real experimental with her mouth on my pillow. Guess my lap is her pillow. She have fun giving me brain. That's real fundamentals. Give me some. Get you one. I'm a chosen one to overcome any spiritual war. I know I already won. Plus my high vibration surpassing all you bums, nigga.
So what are you supposed to say to your kids when the other parent chooses not to be a part of their life? Like, how do you explain that to them? The first thing is, don't lie to your kids. Don't tell them that they're away in the military or they wish they could be here but they can't. Or I've even heard some parents say that the other parent is dead. So not only don't lie, but be honest with your kids at an age-appropriate level without bashing the other parent. And in some circumstances, if it's a situation where you know that parent is never going to be in that child's life, in some circumstances, you might want to be honest about that as well. You also need to validate your child's feelings. Allow them to be angry. Allow them to be upset. Don't tell your kids not to cry or not to be angry or not to be... Let them feel what they're feeling and you validate that for them. And while you're validating, your kids also need to know that it's not their fault. You don't want your child carrying around guilt for something that they shouldn't. And the last thing I'll say is always keep the option open for counseling or coaching for your kids and for yourself. You may have some answers already, but there may be some that you're still searching for. And if you are, seek help in those areas. Find a therapist, find a counselor, find a coach, and get the help that you need for you and your kids.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone had a wonderful Tuesday. Thank you for coming to the Love Palace for episode 15 of The Ships. I hope you're going to enjoy the topic that we're talking about today. Just look, there is a trigger warning going across the bottom here because we're going to go and talk about unspoken love. And the unspoken love we're going to talk about is the impact of an absent parent. So before we get started, let me introduce my co-host, the beautiful Y Kills. Hey. How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
Good. Can you believe we're on episode 15?
Oh, wow.
Shout out to Blenda Hillen for giving us this. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're 5 in. She left us at 10. Not left us, but gave it to me at 10. So me and you personally are 5 in. So that's something to celebrate because we're at 15 episodes. Let me, I have some hands clapping somewhere in here. Anyway, I do. Thank you. We are at episode 15. I am so grateful that you gave this to us, Blended. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, Kelly, let's go ahead and get into this topic. I know this is something both you and I wanted to discuss. And I should make this known. We're going to do 2 parts on this because this absent parent has a broad variety, because we're going to talk about it on different levels. Specifically tonight, we wanted to talk about what the absent parent is and what they can do to cultivate a relationship back once they've been absent.
Yes.
So, as I said, the total is the unspoken love, the impact of the absent parent. And Kelly, let you go ahead and give us a description of what the absent parent is.
Yes. Well, an absent parent is a mother or father who is not present in their child's life, either physically or emotionally. The absence can occur during various reasons, including a separation, a divorce, abandonment, or other circumstances that prevent the parent from fulfilling their giving role or providing necessary support. An absent parent may have limited or no involvement in their child's upbringing, daily activities, or emotional development.
Yes, Kelly. And I wanted to chime into this one because when we were doing our research, and this was very disturbing to us, we were trying to find absent parents with mother and father. And almost everywhere we looked, it was very few that included the mother. And it was disturbing to us both because we know, and Kelly will tell you her story later, that it exists with the mother too.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not going to focus on the mother or the father. We're going to focus on both, the absent parent, period,
In general.
because it happens both ways. And as you can see, society really doesn't want to talk about it. They want to put it, and especially on the Black man. That's what was really like.
That was really just.
It was.
Everything we look for said father. The
Black father, the Black, and it was discouraging. But we know from personal experiences that it's not only our race, it's also the woman as well. And this goes in all forms, races.
Yes.
We don't discriminate over here. So we're going to talk about that in all forms. We all about our culture, though. Don't get it twisted. We are about our culture, but it was discouraging because that's what the research showed. So let's go ahead and go into the first topic, physical absence.
Yes. Now, this is where the parent may live far away due to work, separation, or divorce, or other personal circumstances. In some cases, the parent might have chosen to leave or may have been incarcerated. So that's one of the reasons why a parent can be absent, right?
Right.
And so when we look at that, it's one of those things where the parent is not in the home. Well, we know what physical absent means is that they're not in the home with the child, which takes a toll on the child. But there are a couple of other reasons that we want to talk about too that's included in what an absentee parent is. So you can have that physical absent. The second part of that is emotional absence. So this is where the parent is there, but emotionally they're not there. So you talk about that just because they're not physically present, an absent parent might not be engaged emotionally either with their child. They may not provide support, the love, nurturing that a child needs, potentially due to issues, mental health issues, or they may struggle with, or just a lack of awareness in general. So that's kind of deep too.
That is.
And then
what's the third one?
The third one is voluntary versus involuntary absence. And this is where some parents may be absent by choice, distancing themselves from family responsibilities. Others may be forced into absence due to factors beyond their control, such as custody arrangements or a deployment in the military. So the thing is that the impact of having an absent parent can vary significantly amongst children and may affect their emotional well-being, their social development, their sense of security. However, other strong role models may have and supportive relationships can help mitigate these effects.
Yeah, so let's just go into the three three absence, excuse me. That was the physical one, the emotional, and the voluntary versus involuntary absences. So we broke those down. So we're gonna go into the depth of it. We deep diving. So let me see here.
The one thing that I do want to talk about with this, because this is a very sensitive subject, all those of you that have heard my story knows that I raised my niece when she was about I got her when she was about a month old, and she's 8 years old now. And I've struggled because both of her parents are absent, so it's not just the father that's absent, the mother is absent as well. And I struggle with this still to this day, because she's able to have contact with her father. It's not healthy contact, which we'll talk about this later, but I've kind of had to cut off her even speaking with him because it's not healthy. And the mother has other children that have been taken away from her due to her circumstances. I won't really divulge all of her information, but all of the children were taken through court. Only one of them was my brother's child, but this my niece was actually taken from him due to some circumstances with him and the mother. And that was a decision that the court made. And so I adopted her when she was a year old, and she's been with me ever since. So this is a very touchy subject for myself as well. My oldest daughter also has an absent parent as well. So this is a touchy subject for us. So I just bear with us.
You got a lot of examples, and that's what I like for you to share your stories, as we go on, as well as myself. I have an example or two. So let's go in more in depth in this. The presence of loving and engaged parents is crucial for the development and well-being of the child. However, many children grow up with an absent parent, a situation that can profoundly influence their lives. An absent parent, defined as someone who is physically or emotionally disconnected from their child, leaves a void that affects emotional, social, and psychological growth. The reasons for the parent's absence vary, which can include divorce, work obligations, abandonment, death, and the impact of such absences can have long lasting effect on the child's development.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
And the reason why we're kind of talking about this is because sometimes these circumstances a parent can help. If you're a single parent and you have to work, this may be the case where you're working to make sure your family stays afloat. And even though you're there emotionally, you may not be there. Or again, that physical part may not be there. So there are also a array of reasons why a parent may be absentee, but we just want to shine the light on, number one, what an absentee parent is, and then number two, how to support maybe an absentee parent in getting back into the child's life in a healthy way.
Exactly. You made something triggering me, because I was like, I didn't classify myself as an absent parent. But what I can say is, as you know, I work 3 jobs. You understand? So I would go to my morning job, and then I had a job before I went to my night job, my bartending job, for like 2 hours to relieve my mom. And then I would go to the bar. So I'm not thinking I'm an absentee parent because I'm taking care of my kids. But that could be considered that because of the work situation. We look at it as the absentee parent as, I'm not there for you. But like, hey, I was working. So there was times where I know my youngest son was like, Mom wasn't there. And I was explaining to him that I had to work and do things. But in his mind, I was absent.
Yeah, and I was probably I'm not going to say probably, but I was an absentee parent too, just traveling for work, things like that. So involuntarily, I didn't want to not be there, but because of the situation, I had to work. And so those are things that you kind of don't pay attention to when we're in these situations. We're just kind of running off and we're doing what we have to do. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that you are absent in that part.
Exactly.
So we'll get into all of that as well.
So let's go into understanding the concept of an absent parent.
Yeah. So the concept of an absentee parent. So an absent parent can be physically absent, as in a case where a parent is not present in the child's life due to geographic separation, imprisonment, military services. But in other cases, a parent may be emotionally absent, meaning that they're physically there, but they fail to provide the emotional nurturing support of that child's needs. This could be due to mental health issues, addiction, or lack of emotional intelligence. However, the reasons for parents' absence are complex and multifaceted. For example, divorce, and I know in my case, I've also gone through this too.
Me as well.
You know, that often leads to one parent becoming less involved, either by necessity or by choice. Or in other cases, this situation, the social pressures such as needing to work multiple jobs to make ends
See, I didn't even know.
can lead to a lack of presence in the child's daily life.
Right. So, see, I was speaking of myself.
And it's unintentional too.
Right. Very unintentional. Because especially if I was working so they can be in football and sports and paying for all kind of things and making sure they birth together, and you know how we do. So it was like, I was like, I'm doing and making sure you have the things that you need, and not realizing that of a, an absent parent.
And you know what this is taking? I will tell you that probably these two shows will do good for myself, because I never classify myself as an absentee parent. And then in our community, when we think about absentee parent, number one, it just says just a father is absent.
Right.
So you don't even think
about the mama.
Dang, I'm absent too.
Right.
And I'm not here. But just through I've grown to understand that, you know what, I was absent for a little bit too. Both emotionally as well, because when you're doing all these jobs and you're just trying to make sure you're on track and take care of things, sometimes you overlook the needs. You might be just on go, getting food, dinner ready, homework ready. Now take a shower, it's time. And where in that are you literally decompressing to say, okay, baby, how was your day? And talk about any things you want me to know. I'm doing that now, but I can't say that then I wasn't.
I can agree.
So yeah, that.
So this is why we're understanding the concept of an absent parent. So you guys, think about that. Once we're getting this understanding, are you considered an absent parent? And it does not always mean the parent that's away. So just take that thought into consideration, okay? So we're going to talk about the effects of an absent parent on a child. Okay, we get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah, you're going to make me cry.
Don't cry. No. Children who grow up with an absent parent often face emotional and psychological challenges. One significant effect is the development of feelings of abandonment or rejection, which can lead to issues with self-esteem. Children may internalize the absence, believing they are unworthy of love or that they did something to cause their parents' lack of involvement. Socially, children may struggle to form healthy relationships. In the absence of a strong role model can affect a child's ability to trust and connect with others. Wow, yes. In some cases, children may seek validation and love from external sources, sometimes making poor choices in the process. Academically, children of absent parents may experience difficulty as well. The lack of support at home can hinder their ability to focus on schoolwork and limit access to educational resources, leading to performance. However, it is important to note that not all children of absent parents will struggle academically. Some may channel their emotions into excelling in school as a way to cope. Ooh.
Okay, well, we're done for today,
No.
and we'll see y'all later. No, but this really spoke to me because I can really say that I was disconnected. And a lot of parents, I don't know if you guys have felt this way, but I'm being totally transparent because this is something that's really a touchy subject for me, because I went being married and had a good marriage until things went rocky and we actually got a divorce. But I can say that through that phase of divorcing is when I can tell that my kids went through the abandonment, the struggles in school, like especially with my son, my middle son. My son and one of my daughters definitely have dealt with this. I can say that my oldest daughter definitely dealt with it and is still kind of, shedding some of that today. But because we talk about it and we're able to, tools that we have here, we're able to make some progress. But this is a really big one right now with my niece. We're really struggling right now because she's smart. And when I tell you this girl's smart, she can have a whole conversation, break it down for you, wrap it up, give it back to you.
Right.
But I can tell by me allowing her, and this is kind of where I struggle with, because I've just now made a decision to not allow her to speak with her father due to the fact that the conversations were becoming unhealthy. And the conversations, he would tell me, that's my child. I could say what I want to her, and I would have to say, well, not that way. And he would not care. And he still has a level of not caring because he feels that this is his child. And me as the parent in this situation, I had to make an executive decision to say, you know what, this is not healthy. I have to cut it off. And now I'm having to explain to the child. But prior to that, I can see how this is crazy because he was physically absent, but he was just being there over the phone. I didn't see the effects until it started happening in school, that this is really starting to behavior affecting how she's learning. And so it was hard for me as well.
I like that it brought out how the children's ability to trust and connect with others. And it made me think of, if you've always had an absent parent and you grew into adulthood, does that affect connection with others?
Yeah.
That's just what came to me.
Yeah, it does. It does. Just going through all her research, it absolutely does. Right. So, and that's probably the biggest factor is the parent, because the parent kind of sets the tone for what's happening. The parent sets the tone for how the child regulates their emotions. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Man.
That's my head.
So we're going to go on to the next: coping mechanisms and resilience.
Yes. So despite the challenges, many children demonstrate remarkable resilience. The presence of a supportive community, such as extended family, mentors, teachers, can play a crucial role in mitigating the negative effects of an absent parent. Now, additionally, develop coping mechanisms such as engaging in sports, arts, therapy can help the children process their emotions and build self-worth. So programs that focus on mentoring a positive role model have been shown to have a positive impact. These programs provide children with a stable and consistent adult figure who can guide them and offer emotional support and serve as examples of a healthy relationship. Boom, drop the mic. I was doing this and I didn't even know. This is okay. So sorry, y'all.
No, go ahead.
I had a moment there because the coping mechanism. So also through my divorce, it was kind of rocky even after the divorce. In this, my husband passed. So my children are not just dealing with an absent parent, but now they're dealing with the death of that absent parent.
Mhm.
So this was one of the hardest things that I've had to deal with. At first, I didn't know how to deal with it. Like, I broke down because I'm like, I'm gonna do this by myself. Because even though he was absent in some ways, he was also there for them too, and I couldn't take that away. But what I did, just out of just nurturing spirit, is I knew to put them in some type of sports, some type of get them around a group of people. Even teachers kind of linked into me to help me out with kind of guiding them. Right now we have a basketball family. Shout out to NBA Dolphins in Atlanta. Hey, Coach Bree, hope to see you here soon.
Right.
But I'm giving a shout out because I know that through this program, not only does she talk to my sons, but she's actually helping develop them, putting their mind into the sports. And I can tell a whole different with them. Their light has come back to them. They're able to communicate. They're able to talk. The baby, I put her in gymnastics. That was one thing that really kind of helped her shine. And so, yes, getting them examples of people that can strengthen your family is important, and it's imperative, because number one, it does take the child's mind off of, am I not worthy? It puts them in a spot where somebody actually sees me.
Right.
They can actually help me out. So please, if that's what you need to do, put them into something, talk to them so that you can kind of understand and navigate this, because it is a challenge.
Yeah, and we want these to be healthy relationships. That these mentors and coaches and things, it has to be healthy in order for them to get over this absentee parent. So I'm just gonna, I mean, being in the gang. And it's sad because just being transparent, that's what happens.
Yeah.
A lot of men, young men, to the gang, they make rap songs about that. Like, my father wasn't there, Tupac.
Yeah.
So he because he couldn't have love for a stranger. You know what I'm saying? So like he went to the streets. So make sure we're providing examples of healthy relationships. So the absence of a parent can shape a child's life in significant ways, but it does not have to. While the impact of an absent can be profound, the human spirit's capacity for resilience is equally powerful. Hold on. Human spirit's capacity for resilience is equally powerful. Y'all remember that. By fostering supportive environments, encouraging emotional expressions, and providing consistent role models, society can help these children navigate their challenges and grow into well-adjusted adults. The journey may be difficult, but with understanding and support, the cycle of pain and absence can be broken, paving the way for a brighter future. Ooh, yeah.
Now, one thing that I will say about that is we also had to get into therapy. Now, I've signed up. We're getting ready to go to therapy again here in the near future, in the very near future, just to kind of do some maintenance on our relationship as well, because we are a couple of years past my husband passing, and so it's one of them things where, yeah, we see that we're making some headway, but sometimes you have to come back and do some of that maintenance to make sure that you're still going strong and that your community is there for you and your children as y'all navigate this experience. So
remember, we have the capacity, the resilience that is put into us by the divine is so powerful. If we put ourselves in the right circumstances, healthy relationships, people that understand, going to therapy if necessary. And this is what discouraged me, because the world is so different now. The music is so influenced, and this society in general, things are so different. Me and you watching shows, and we like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Right.
And all this we don't know, and then we tend to be like, oh, and I had to catch myself too yesterday saying, y'all generation is so messed up. And I was like, oh my God, that ain't even That's what, because that's what we feel. That's the words, but we don't want to put that negativity out there, because we are able to make a brighter future for our children if we do some of these and use some of these tools and make sure we foster them in good environments and they can be encouraged emotionally and things like that. We have a choice to change that. So my thinking, I'm not going to say that this generation, it is messed up. But what am I doing to make it better for my village so that they do not feel that there's any absence?
Yeah. And then one thing that I also wanted to speak to too, because I know that in the past, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done this around my kids, but I know that past since I've talked about the absentee parent, as though this parent ain't here to help me. One thing as parents that we have to do, and I'm grown for this, but I'm going to be perfectly transparent, where I've gotten around friends and family that I felt comfortable with, not around my children, but friends and family, and I would down that other parent. This parent ain't this, and they're not this, and they not being here. And just recently here, I kind of had to give my baby some information about her father. Where one, be honest with them. Don't lie and say, oh, they're off doing it. Be honest with them. I just had to really tell them, because her parents are addicted to drugs. And I had to find a way to tell her that right now is not a good time for your parents. They both have a drug habit. And I had to kind of explain that to her. She's 8 years old, and she's have had classes. They had the little DARE program. I don't know if any of you guys know what that is, but that was a program where they teach children about drugs, safety, and not to do drugs. But it was one of those things where I had to explain to her that, hey, this is why your parents can't show up for you at this time. And then I also had to go and tell her, well, this is how this looks for them not showing up. Mean that they don't love you, because I think the one thing that we default to is that this absentee parent don't care. But I don't know if we really look into the factors of what's all involved. I don't know if we really truly look at the mental health or the mental capacity of that parent to see if they can handle it. Sometimes we all in our community, especially with our women, we take such a strong role where we stand up and we're like, we got to do this anyway. And so we'll look at the other parent as less in a sense, where I don't understand why they can't be there. I'm here. And sometimes I think that we need to be a little bit more open at the mental capacity that that parent may have. Some of this is, parents really may not want to be there, but then what's behind why that parent doesn't want to be there, and understand what those circumstances are. Because I will tell you, just by experience, it does not matter how much trash you talk about that parent. It doesn't matter what you say about that parent. The child, number one, didn't choose to be here. So you down in that other parent's not helping that child. And 9 times out of 10, the child, when they get older, will seek out that parent to see if what you said was true. Absolutely. So you got to be very careful in this space of how we talk about that absent parent, because at the end of the day, that kid's going to look for the parent. Whether you downed that parent or made that parent seem bad or anything, that child's still going to try to find the connection to that other parent. So I don't down my baby's parents or my oldest daughter's parent. Is just to draw light to this is what it is right now. Now, if you go later and you find something out, then that's what they'll find out. But just keep in mind sometimes the mental capacity of that absentee parent, because you never know where their mind is at or where they can be. And it doesn't matter how long you spent with that parent. Sometimes you not know. So just keep that in mind.
So I want to be very, very clear on this, because at the Love Palace, we don't just focus on the men. The absent parent can be both a mother or a father. Let's be very, very clear about that, because we know of several circumstances where a mother has been an absent parent to the extent, like we both understand now that we had qualities that could have made us, can be an absent parent, but to the extent we're just not being in their presence, not taking care of them, so they don't, all of the above. Women do this too.
Absolutely.
Let's be very, very clear.
And here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing about it is that there are some women, and this is just speaking from experience. And I could say this too because I was that woman where I could turn and say to my family or my friends that this parent wasn't there, but was I there emotionally? So that really didn't make me any different from the absentee parent, because just because they're not there physically, sometimes it's worse that you are there physically and you still are not paying attention to your child, knowingly or unknowingly. That can still damage your child as well.
Exactly.
So I don't want to take away from just the man is just absent, but ladies, please pay attention to this too and check in with your child. I mean, I do it now, but that's because I have the information now, but I can now take this information and apply it to past tense. I wasn't there either. And I talked so much stuff about the absentee parent to my family that it was like, well, I'm spending so much time worrying about that absentee parent that here I am emotionally not being present for my children. And that is kind of worse than an absentee parent. So kind of keep that in mind, ladies.
Yes, especially emotionally, because so I'm going to talk about the women. You can emotionally damage them, as you said before. Oh, you remind me of your dad. Get out my face. Oh, you just acting like your dad. Oh, I can't stand you because your dad did this. And you like, oh, I got to do this all by myself. Your dad's not here. Yes, we hear you. We hear you. But we still want to be, we women need to be emotionally there. We men that have the responsibility of taking care of their children in case of an absentee mother still need to be there emotionally, because physical doesn't mean everything. It means a lot, I could say, when you're little, like too, but once you start growing up and you get the physical and the emotional absence together, woo, honey, that's a whole nother subject. But I want to be very, very clear that this is about the absent parent. It could be a father or a mother. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
So
I just think that sometimes we absolve ourselves of considering ourselves being absent parents because we're there physically.
Exactly.
And we think because we're there physically that that's what the child needs when they need so much more support than just, being there. So I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I'm not gonna absolve myself of this is me. This is what my accountability looks like. Is saying, hey, emotionally I wasn't there either, and that also contributed to the emotional factors of our children as well. So yeah.
So now we're gonna go into cultivating a healthy relationship as an absent parent. So if you are an absent parent, or you've noticed that you have some qualities as an absent parent, as we just identify within ourselves, what can we do to cultivate a healthy relationship? Go ahead, Kels.
Yeah. So building or rebuilding healthy relationships with your child as an absent parent is going to be a journey. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It is going to require patience, consistency, and a genuine effort. Now I'm going to go back and repeat that again, because if you're in the back and you really don't care, and I'm repeating this to myself too, but it is a journey. It requires patience, consistency, and a genuine effort. While it may be a challenge, connect or establish trust after a period of physical or emotional distance, it is possible to create a meaningful and nurturing bond. So there's going to be some key points to help us foster a healthy relationship.
Right. And I believe there's 10 of them that we're going to go over.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead to the first one. Acknowledge. Yes. Ooh, wee, y'all. Ooh, wee. This first step in cultivating a healthy relationship is acknowledging the impact of your absence. Being honest why you were absent, whether due to work, personal struggles, or uncontrollable circumstances. Demonstrate accountability. If your child is old enough, have an open and age appropriate conversation. If your child is old enough, have an open and age appropriate conversation. Man, expressing genuine remorse for the pain your absence may have caused and your desire to make amends.
Okay. So you keep blowing my mind every time we talk about these points. It's blowing my mind because here's the thing. I just had a conversation with my father today regarding not necessarily absentee, but in that way, because I have a relationship with and I'm being transparent here with the grandparents of my children, and there's a lot of unanswered questions that we have regarding his absence, why he was absent. And some of these things are trying to be swept up under the rug where it's like, let it go. He's gone now. Let's just focus on the good times. But there are still questions. There's still, and at this point in time, they are age appropriate. I will tell you that they're at an age where we've done enough work to where we can have these conversations. We can really talk about what happened or what transpired. And before you can move on, because this is a thing that I think some people, not all, but I think some people forget that they act like you could just jump back into the relationship and everything should be okay. Well, this is a crucial and an important part because you really do have to acknowledge the past. You have to talk about it, because the thing is that act like we can go forward from here. But if you don't know how I feel about the situation, if I don't know how you feel, I may be holding some type of resentment. You may be feeling neglected because I may not get close to you as what you may feel. So the past has to be spoken about. So y'all, please pay attention to this one. Don't just skirt over this one and just, we getting there. I'm just now.
I'm here now. Right. I'm here now. It don't matter what happened.
You need to listen to me. I'm your mama.
Woo, girl.
I done seen that. I'm your mama. You gonna listen, and the kids like, I don't know where you been all these years. You're not here.
Right. Oh man, we're gonna stay on the topic because that's why we're gonna have two parts to this, because we gotta stay up because it's a lot I want to say. Yes. Be consistent and reliable.
Yes, being consistent and reliable. Consistency is crucial for building trust. So make an effort to be present in your child's life in predictable and dependable ways. This could include calling regularly and showing up for important events and maintaining communication, messages or video chats. Even small gestures like remembering their birthdays or asking about their interests shows that you care. So thrive on stability. So being a reliable presence, even if it's from a distance, it still helps lay a solid foundation.
Man, well, and I'm not in the same state as my grandchildren, but honey, what we do, we just did it today. I'm FaceTime and I need to hear their voice, even my children. Like, hello, what's going on? Definitely. So being consistent and reliable, I don't even know if it's going to go into that. We're not going to give false hope. This is where reliability and dependable. So you see these many movies and even in real life, the parents coming to pick them up. I love you. I'm going to be there to pick you up at blah, blah, blah.
And they sitting on the porch with their legs
girl
till the morning.
It just hurts my little heart. I promise you. So be dependable when you're making those calls and stick to your word. Okay.
No broken promises. And it's not when you're rebuilding and reconnecting. No broken promises. And if you can't make it, make sure that you tell the child that you can't make it. So I'll let you. So we're on 3.
Prioritize quality time. When you have opportunities together, focus on creating meaning experience. Quality time doesn't have to be extravagant. Simple activities like playing a game, going for a walk, engaging in a shared hobby can create cherished memories. If physical distance is a barrier, consider virtual activities like reading a book together over a video call or watching the same movie and discussing it afterward. Wow, these are very good points, especially because we're in the digital world, and one parent might live in the state the child is, and the other one
Hold
might
on.
not. Okay.
Then there ain't no excuse for a parent to be absent. I'm sorry, y'all. That just made me mad. I'm sad mad kind of right now. I'm sad mad because we're in a digital age. So there's no reason for a parent to have to be absent, especially if this is one of the ways that it's telling you could connect over videos, playing games over, because now I know there's some apps where you can have FaceTime and you can play a game with children over the phone, reading books over the phone, creating voice notes and sending them to your child. Like, so honestly, I'm going to challenge y'all. If you are absent, even if you're not an absent parent and you just want to make sure you're remaining connected with your child, these are some ways that you can remain connected. Now that we're in a digital age, there really is no reason. I'm going to say that one more time. No reason.
Especially if you can be on Facebook and Instagram all day. Everybody has those apps, or there's Telegram, whatever, all them where you can FaceTime, even if you got an Android or something. There is something. StreamYard. Shoot.
You walking by Starbucks and they got a Wi-Fi, sit there for 5 minutes.
McDonald's at this point.
Man,
yeah.
Come on, y'all. Like, come on. And I'm saying, I'm speaking to myself because now that I'm getting this information, because I think that at this point I do a good time, a good. I really do really good with communicating with my children. But this is just an extra step that even I can take into account where, oh shoot, I can do of what, we kind of take it for granted because we do have these devices all the time. But just sending a simple message, hey, I'm thinking about you, I love you, or singing a song. Come on, because she knows I'm funny as heck. Oh, come on, hey, I love y'all. I love singing songs and stuff, and they be cracking up at me like, Mom, come on, you crazy. But it's just to keep that connection.
Right. So let's go on to number 4. Listen and validate their feelings.
Okay, your child may have mixed emotions about your absence, ranging from hurt, confusion, anger, indifference. It is essential to listen to their feelings without becoming defensive or dismissive. Validate their emotions by acknowledging their pain and letting them know that it's okay for them to feel that way. Offering a safe space for your child to express themselves helps strengthen the emotional bond.
Man. So we're going to make sure that we're listening, which means we say it all the time. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth. So use those 2 ears to listen. And then validate their feelings. Make them be like, I understand why you have mixed emotions and why you are angry and why you're hurt. So it's very important to listen to these feelings and don't become defensive or dismissive and be like I said earlier, oh, well, I'm here now. Don't worry about that. I'm here now. You don't know what was going on. You were young. You won't figure it. Don't be like that.
And I want to speak to the men in this area. Those of you that have selected the mother of your child, and even if she's talking down about you to your child, understand the child still has a bond with you. Don't take that for granted. I promise you, don't take that for granted, because even though a mother can spew negativity onto your child, it is still for you to kind of come in there. Don't try to fight the mom through the child by saying, no, that ain't true. No. Explain your part to the child. Also, take in and listen to their feelings. Don't try to fight what they're saying then and there, because you showing up and being present will drop those walls for your children. So continue to just show up and be there. That's the greatest thing that you could do. So you don't have to always try to jump on the defense to defend what was said about you, because what really matters is the action that you come with after that. That will solidify how your child will really feel.
Right. Those are good points, Kelly. So number 5, we're halfway through. Be patient and respect their boundaries.
So I'm going to tell you right now, rebuilding, like we said before, rebuilding a relationship takes time. Your child may not be ready to connect right away, and that's okay.
Mhm.
But be patient, respect their space, understand that they may need time to process their feelings and grow comfortable with your presence. So the thing is that they may not feel comfortable at that time. Avoid pressuring them or expecting them to immediately forgive.
Mhm.
Instead, just, and this is, I'm saying it again, just focus on showing up and being
Mhm.
consistent, letting them know that letting the relationship just kind of evolve naturally.
Right, right. I agree with all that because, like I said, we're gonna have a part 2 because I could go into so much. So I'm gonna stay on topic. D, stay on topic. Is which it is on topic. Yeah, I got it. So let's number 6. Focus on positive communication. It always lands on me when it comes to communication.
Because you're good at it.
Okay,
Ooh,
okay.
let's go.
Healthy communication is the cornerstone of a strong relationship. Be open, honest, and age appropriate in your conversation. Avoid discussing adult issues or blaming the other parent. Avoid discussing adult issues or blaming the other parent, as this can create unnecessary stress for the child. Instead, focus on encouraging and uplifting dialogue that builds your child's self-esteem and fosters trust.
Okay, so I'm gonna stay on topic.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay on topic, y'all. I am. But this is exactly what I was talking about. Children, one, we got to understand that they have not been here before. They have not had these shared experiences that you have had with this parent. And sometimes parents, stop putting all that stress on your children. They don't know what you went through with the dad or the mom. They don't know that. And honestly, they don't care. They don't even have the mindset to even conceive what you went through. So sharing those types of feelings with your child is not okay, because what that does is that really strips them down mentally. They don't even know how to handle that. And then they grow up resenting, could be the both of you because of it. But this is what you do, is you are uplifting and encouraging the child. I understand what was said about me, but let me show you something different. I understand that this was said about me, but let me speak to you differently. The thing is that we have to learn how to build the self-esteem in our children, because once you build your child's self-esteem, then that's when they start to trust you even more, because when you're battling with the other parent through your child, the child becomes confused. And I'm not really sure how you expect them to handle that. To me, I will feel like I have put my children in situations where they couldn't handle it. They didn't know what to do with it. And then I'm wondering why it's coming out in other ways, whether it's in school, whether it's in their friendships. It's going to show up whether you want it to or not. So please make sure that you are uplifting so that they can build their self-esteem, so you can help build their self-esteem. And then watch how that trust will follow.
Age appropriate conversation.
Yes, age appropriate. And one thing that I will say about that is I know that sometimes in this day and age, our kids seem a little growner than normal. I will tell you that at the age of 7, I told my niece that she was adopted. But because, one, she mentally shows that she's ahead of her time. And so the age appropriate conversation was just getting her to understand what adoption is, how adoption came to be, and how it affected her. I didn't go into your parents are this, your parents are that. I didn't go into all that. I just basically told her, I'm your aunt and not your mom. And she was kind of like, what? But then when I told her, do you notice a difference in that? I'm here for you and I'm going to always be here for you. This is the age appropriate conversation that I had for her, is that I'm going to always be here to support her like I am her mom. And it doesn't matter if she wants to call me mom or auntie, it's her choice. But she was able to understand that. And she told me, well, all I know is you all my whole life as my mom. And I said, well, baby, you do whatever you feel comfortable with. And she said, you my mom. And so that's what we went with. And it stayed like that. So just be mindful of just having those age appropriate conversations, because some ages may not be ready. So just keep that in mind.
So, yeah, I was going to say on that a little bit of what you were saying, the age appropriate, the age of which our parents or the parents before thought was appropriate age, and you're not supposed to talk to that, It's totally different now because they'll go online and look stuff up. So age appropriate is at a younger age now, like Kelly mentioned, depending on the growth of the child and their maturity level. So that's the thing I wanted to focus on, because some people would have said, "Oh, she's 8, that's too young." No, because you know her and she's developing fast, and technology in this world makes them develop faster. So when I say age appropriate, you should know your child when to have the conversation.
Yeah.
Number 7, invest in personal growth.
So working on yourself is important. I'm going to say that one more time as a parent. Working on yourself is important. It will cultivate a healthy relationship. So address any personal challenges that may have contributed to your absence, such as addiction, unsolved trauma, or financial instability, demonstrating that you are committed to self-improvement not only for your benefit, but also sets a positive example for your child. Yes.
Invest in your personal growth. It show that you want to have that healthy relationship with them, and you're going to have those tough conversations. Like it says, discuss why you were absent. Was it because there was an addiction? There was some trauma? Was it financially? Were you incarcerated? Have that conversation, but invest in your personal growth when getting to grow. That was my word too. Mindset. Anyway, getting to grow and know yourself. Invest in your personal growth. So it's going to help set an example for the child.
But before we move on, just one more thing. When we talk about investing in your personal growth, one thing that also we need to consider is that we are not perfect. When you invest in your personal growth, you also show your child that, look, I'm not perfect and I have made some mistakes, but I can recover from those mistakes. That's probably the greatest thing that you could do for your child, is showing, just kind of setting that example that I may have messed up and may not have been there, but I have the opportunity to do it now. Now, I know there are some situations where this can be difficult in, like when you're going through a traumatic divorce and things like that may hit you in spots where you don't want to, or you can't talk to that other parent. But I will say, if you are the parent on the outside of that can't be there with your child, really focus on your personal growth and you growing into something that your child could be proud of, that you would want them to be proud of. So that's what I would say in that arena, because it really does make a difference. Understand, please, it is imperative. These children will look for you when they get older. They will. So just make sure that you're ready. Set up a foundation for them. So I will say, from my personal experience, I don't want to put my mom out there like that, but there were some things that me growing up as a child where my mom did have conversations that probably weren't age appropriate with me about my father. And I'm 43 now and ended up moving to Atlanta. I didn't have my dad physically. I did have him for emotional support, if I could call him. He did visit me on and off throughout my life, and I came and spent time with him here in Atlanta when I was younger. So they kind of had like split, not custody necessarily because we didn't go through the courts, but we kind of had split time. But one thing, as a grown adult, I came down to Atlanta. My father had a house for me when I got down here. And so it was one of those things where I couldn't believe, like, all the things that I was told were different when I got here and actually got to spend time with my father. And it's an ever developing relationship that I'm proud of. I'm proud of both my parents, but I understand they did what they needed to do in the moment. But as the child on the outside of that, I went and suck out differently than what my mother gave to me. So I understand that we want to kind of harp on the absent parent. This parent wasn't there, or we want to say things about that absent parent, but the child at the end will always go looking for that absent parent. So understand that what you say really matters. So invest in your personal growth if you're the absent parent, just to set that example, to show the child that you can be there and that you may have made a wrong decision or not a favorable decision for them, but in the end, you show them how to rebound that.
Okay, let's move right along. So we did touch on this a little bit, making the most of technology. If you are separated by physical distance, use technology to bridge the gap. Regular phone calls, video chats, text messages can help maintain a sense of closeness. You can also share updates through pictures, videos, or voice message, making the effort to be involved in your child's day-to-day life. We had touched on that earlier, so we know, like we said, it's technology, so there's really no excuses anymore. You could be on the app all day, this red app. You could be not absent from your child. That's what I'm going to say. So let me go on
Can I say one thing too?
Yes.
Okay. The one thing that I don't like, y'all parents that got grown children, quit telling your child because they're the grown person they could call you to. Stop that. You had this child. It's on you to develop that relationship, not your child to try to develop the relationship with you. Just gonna be honest with you. And like we talked about before, it takes time to cultivate that relationship. So don't just cut out on the kid, but that's probably one of the worst things that I see now happening. And also I've experienced myself where the parent will say, well, you old enough, you can make an effort. But what if you never showed the effort and now you want this child to come in? They're mirroring what you gave to them. So please be cognizant of that. Even with our grown children, is we are still the parent. We still set the standard of how our children will act and behave with us. So just keep that in mind, please, because that ain't good either.
All right. Number 9, collaborate with the other parent if that's possible. But go ahead.
If it is possible, if possible, work collaboratively with your child's other parent or guardian. Co-parenting arrangements build on respect. Open communication helps provide a united front for your child's well-being. Avoid conflict and focus on what's best for the child, ensuring that the involvement support is a stable and loving environment.
Okay, so now I got to vent for a minute.
Can you?
Women, do not use your child as a way to get back at the man because he has moved on, or vice versa. But I'm going to speak to the women. Women use this co-parent arrangement. It's all good and we're collaborating and we doing good until he go find somebody else to be with. Y'all not together no more. Don't let that affect your co-parenting skills. So have open communication, respect his relationship. Do excuse me. Do not use that child as a way to not have them be in a relationship with the absent parent. Okay, I'm done. We're going to go to number 10. Let's go. Seek support and guidance.
Yes. Ooh, please seek some support and some guidance. You want to talk about the support and guidance?
You got that.
Okay, well, reconnecting with your child can be an emotional challenge. Believe me, I know how exhausting it can be. So don't hesitate to seek support if needed. Like I stated before, therapy or counseling can provide guidance and help you navigate your emotions while offering strategies to strengthen your relationship with your child. Family therapy may also be beneficial, allowing everyone involved to heal and grow together. So I will say that there's nothing wrong with seeking support. Like, I mean, the truth of the matter is if you are committed to having a relationship with your child, you would do whatever it takes. Regardless of what the situation is, I will tell you, there are churches out there that you can go to. Like if you can't afford a counselor, I mean, try and see if you can find some type of, find a community, a support center that may help you in this area. There are a lot of resources out there for you to be able to build that strength with you and the child and that other parent. But I'm saying if the child is in the middle of this, they have no choice. They didn't ask to be brought here. So we as parents need to do our best on trying to support our child on how to navigate this so that they don't carry this further into their children. And then we're trying to unravel what was created now that they're going on and they're having children. We don't want to repeat the cycle. So let's break it down as best we can and help ease our children out of the middle of this.
Right. So let's go through the 10 steps real quick. The first one was to acknowledge the past, be consistent and reliable, prioritize quality time, listen and validate their feelings, be patient and respect their boundaries, focus on positive communication, invest in personal growth, make the most of technology, collaborate with the other parent, seek support and guidance. Those are the 10 steps. So when you're cultivating a healthy relationship as an absent parent requires effort, understanding and a commitment to healing. By acknowledging the past, showing up consistently, and prioritizing meaningful communication, you can work toward building a strong and supportive bond. It is a journey that requires time and dedication. With persistence and love, a meaningful and lasting relationship is possible. I like that part. Mm-hmm. It's a journey that requires time, dedication, but with persistence and love, a lasting relationship is possible.
It is, y'all. Like, here's the thing, like, I can see from both parents' perspective, being that absentee parent and also having the absentee parent and then becoming the parent that is so involved, I probably get on their nerves right now. And I know I don't, because they tell me that they love me to be here, but it's just one of those things where we learn and we're growing together. We're here. This is a non-judgment zone, because I'm telling you, I'm speaking from both sides, like where I had to get real with myself and go to counseling for myself as well, so that I could show up for our children and make the best of it. I'm here also with my niece, again, like we stated, the age appropriate conversation. She's ahead of her time. And so there were some people that were like, no, you shouldn't tell her that she's adopted. But one thing that I understand is that I don't want her to get 16, 17 years old and I'm just now telling her stories about her parents or where she came from. I needed her to understand that this is going to be a journey for all of us. But we are here to support you in that journey. And although I'm not your mom, I am your mother. These brothers and sisters that now may be your cousins, is what she asked me. She said, so my brothers and sisters are my cousins? I'm telling y'all, at 7 years old, this is how smart she is. I said, yeah, they are your cousins. But guess what? They're your brothers and your sisters too. And then I told her, you do not have to take this walk alone. When you're ready, when I understand that your mother and your father are ready, we're going to go walk down that journey together. And she said, okay. So like I said, and then we're into getting family therapy right now. We've done it before, but now this is just maintenance to kind of keep us on track. Because one thing that I do understand is I can't do this alone. One thing that I want to say to us women, stop being strong. I'm going to just tell you, I hate that word strong. You know that. I hate the word strong, because who comes to the aid of the strong person? When you present yourself as strong and I got it put together and doing this, the one thing that people say is, oh, you got it. Oh, he got it. Ain't no reason for us to come in and help out because you strong. You got it, right? But I'm resilient. I say that I'm resilient because there's nothing that I haven't been sent through that I can't come back from. But I'm also aware that I don't have to do this by myself, because there are resources out there to help me get to my end goal with the help of other people. So I don't have to do this alone. I'm not in this alone. But it takes us to be honest with ourselves as parents to say, hey, I do need this extra help, and to go and actually seek out this help. Please don't feel ashamed. We all have made mistakes. I've made mistakes. You've made mistakes, and it's okay.
No, I'm perfect. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding, y'all. You know, I had to make a joke out of it because we was getting too serious. I'm just saying. No, but yeah.
You can come back from almost anything. So just be mindful. We have children here that we're raising, and these are going to be the children of our future. Like Whitney Houston said, children of our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all.
Anyway, y'all, we are about to end this this conversation we had with you guys. We'll be back in about probably a little bit after 15 minutes. A little bit after 8:30, because this was a long one. This is actually part 1. We will continue this next week, but we want you, all of y'all, to come back to the Love Palace for the Q&A. I think I got a couple of special guests coming up to talk, and I might let them talk first and then get everybody up, but we'll see. You never know what's going to happen at the Love Palace. So we're going to conclude this episode 15. Yay! The unspoken love, the impact of the absent parents. So I'm not even going to do my regular closing, you know how I do, because I'm going to see you right back here, right back here.
Right back.
Go get, use the bathroom, get you something to eat, take care of the kids, whatever. Around 8:30-ish, we're going to go and have the Q&A right here. Come and join me in this lovely theater that was provided for me by Mr. Melodies, y'all. Mr. Melodies provided this background. So
like, share, and subscribe, and please click that notification bell, because if you click that notification bell, you'll be notified on when we come back on. Do your job, guys. Let's go.
All right. So I'm going to conclude this episode. Let me take this down with a song, because that's how we do it over here at the Love Palace. So like I said, give us about 15.
Give us 15 minutes. Come on back. We love to, y'all. I'm going to say it like I always say it. Go ahead and come on back. We love when you down in the chat. We love to hear what you got to say. Y'all are very interactive. So let's go, y'all.
All right, y'all. So, give me a second. I need a second. Hold on, y'all. And we want to thank you for coming to this portion of the show. Make sure you come back around 8 to the Q&A at the Love Palace. Peace and love to everybody, and see you real soon.
Oh, family's all I got. Oh, yeah. Family. It's all I got, yeah.
I hate it when we fight, can't get along. Everybody right, ain't nobody wrong. Got your hands out, but you say you're grown. Still ain't pay me back for that loan. Coming from the soil where your friends treat you better than your blood. Whereas hella hate, no love. Barely wanna give a bruh a hug. Everybody family got an alky. Everybody got somebody in their family like the same sexuality. Everybody family got some history. Everybody got somebody that been in the penitentiary. I ain't no better than you and you ain't no better than me. Only person I idolize is G.O.D. The devil working overtime, circus trying to sneak me when I say my prayer. The Lord is who I worship. Future daughter-in-laws, women, after a family function, help clean the kitchen. Future son-in-laws, young men, get up, get out, and get some. I got second cousins I ain't never met, cause my first cousin's upset. I know people hate their family, but they let their dog and their pet.
Family's all I got.
My family.
I ain't falling out.
My family.
Family's all I got. Talking about my family. I ain't falling out.
When you're down, some family will kick you. Wow. When you up, some family will dish you. Preach. When you die, some family will miss you. Teach. When you alive, death some of them wish you. That's a shame. Why is that? Why I gotta be like that? Why come when I tell you I love you, you can't say it back? Why I gotta be this way? What's the matter with you? Why come when we barbecue, why do we gotta argue? I ain't no better than you and you ain't no better than me. Only person I idolize is G.O.D. The devil working overtime, purpose trying to sneak me when I say my prayer. The Lord is who I worship. We blood, cuz, so I'ma say it. To be family, you ain't gotta be related. I got homies that I consider my friend. That'll be there for me before my kin. Rockin' with me, wanna see me win, at least I think so. But then again, never know who a backdoor bro. For some money, anybody will do anything. Steal from their sibling, probably mama wedding ring.
Family's all I got.
My family, yeah. Cause it ain't no fun, no.
Family's all I got.
I love you, cuz. Yes, I do.
My family.
Argument, we might fall out. When we talk to each other for a long time. But when tragedy happens, we come together. We hug each other and start crying. Family's all I got.
Nobody else. My family.
I hate calling out.
Cause I love you. I love you. Yes, I do. She ain't like family.
My family.
My family, y'all, cause they all that I have, and I gotta stand tall. My family, y'all, gotta do what I do. Love my family. Yeah. Family. Y'all don't know nothing about family. Yeah, I don't know. See, I love the way 40 broke it down for you, just to let you know about the family. How the family tree's supposed to be. Yeah. Every time I think about everything I've been through, all I want to do is stay true to family. Family.